crosses party lines. It crosses, as a matter of fact, it crosses all the lines. When it comes down to victimizing some of the most innocent people in America, these were young girls that were teenagers that desperately wanted to be models one day. They wanted to be seen as beautiful. They wanted to be rich. They wanted to be famous. And of course, every teenager wants things like that. And they were victimized by Ghislaine Maxwell and others. And they were victimized by the richest, most powerful men, not only in our country, but in the world. And they were used by Jeffrey Epstein as sexual tools for his own satisfaction and his friends' satisfaction. To actually be asked by the President of the United States to back off and not help these women, that's when MAGA died. Well, it was the most shocking thing when I sat in a conference meeting and I learned that the president didn't want to release the Epstein files. I was like, what? Yeah, come to find out, he was very much against it. So we kept on trying and kept on talking about it. And then the president told Mike Johnson, no, do not bring that resolution to the floor for a vote. He told the Rules Committee, and Johnson told the Rules Committee, no, you will not mark up any bill in the Rules Committee that will allow the Epstein files to be released. And the resistance built and built and built. He told Pam Bondi, don't release the Epstein files. He told everybody, don't release the Epstein files. So we persisted because that's what we promised. That's what we campaigned on, transparency and accountability, especially to pedophiles. How is that complicated? So it got to be such a gigantic amount of resistance coming from the president and the speaker and everyone, the DOJ. I said, fine, I'll do the unthinkable. I'll go over there and I'll sign my name on a discharge petition that all the Democrats are signing their name on. Talk about crossing the aisle. Me, a general in the MAGA army, crossing over to sign my name with a bunch of Democrats. Yeah, I did. Because women were raped when they were 16 and 14 years old. And he was a convicted pedophile, and we knew there were many with him. So I signed my name on the discharge petition. Oh, did I get my name on the naughty list then? Let me tell you. Well, I'll never forget it. I was in my office in the Rayburn building, and I got a phone call from the president. And he was at the White House, and he wanted to talk to me about the discharge petition that I'd signed my name on. And he said, Marjorie, you're going to have to take your name off that discharge petition. We can't let, this is a hoax. We can't carry this. This is a hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. And we've got to just put this away and stop doing this. And he said, my friends are going to get hurt. He said his friends would get hurt if we released the Epstein files. He said, Marjorie, these are good people. These are people you know at Mar-a-Lago. People in Palm Beach. They're going to get hurt by this. And I said, Mr. President, people have been hurt. These women have been hurt. And he told me his friends would get hurt. And I said, not taking my name off the discharge petition. Thank you. You see, MAGA went from being words and promises, but when it came time to put it into real action, the actions is what killed it. And do you want to know who took the actions to kill MAGA? It was the creator and the founder himself, Donald Trump. How did it happen? It started with the back door to a central bank digital currency. And then when we campaigned on lowering inflation and reducing gas prices and caring about domestic issues that matter to Americans, the White House front door became a revolving door to foreign leaders, not to Americans, and not to industry leaders and those involved in working on the domestic solutions that Americans needed. No, it became a place of foreign policy. The next thing that happened was bombing Iran. I openly and spoke publicly against it. And that's when strike two happened for me. The president was mad at me. How dare I criticize him After all, he wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and he wants it by bombing Iran. How can I point out that hypocrisy, Marjorie? No, no, no. Don't criticize the president. Don't be a panikin. Trust Trump, right? Well, I spoke out, but there were others that spoke out. Charlie Kirk spoke out, and he spoke out quite bravely. Tucker Carlson spoke out bravely, and others, few others, not many of us, but a few. Well, then the 12-day war was finished, and they got to come out and do their victory rounds on Fox News and say how, oh, see, it didn't turn into a forever war. Oh, look, we bombed them and we wiped out their entire nuclear capabilities. We wiped out all their military capabilities. It's over. And that's why Donald Trump should have the Nobel Peace Prize. My goodness, it was so silly. Well, as this was going on, I was watching spending bill and CR and all this disgusting things that happen in the House of Representatives. No real change. In Congress, I would co-sponsor the balanced budget resolution, and I would co-sponsor all the conservative bills. Then magically, guess what? No matter who is Speaker of the House, those bills never come to the floor for a vote. Well, talking about another resolution that got blocked more than any other resolution I've ever seen, it was to release the Epstein file. Oh my gosh. I looked up the definition of traitor. I looked it up. I was like, I have to wrap my head around this. And so a traitor is a traitor to the United States of America. And I swore an oath to defend our Constitution. And I really thought about it. I said, he's not talking about what we think of the definition of traitor. He's saying I was a traitor to him. To him. And that's why I was a traitor to him. And that's why he was going to support a primary against me, just like he's doing to Thomas Massey, which is horrific. And I looked at that and I thought to myself, this is a badge of honor.
So on X, Marjorie Taylor Greene, representative, is telling us that she's reported 773 death threats. These are threats that are coming to her office via phone call or email, not including the countless online threats her and her family have received. And last month, Greene had blamed this escalation on her current feud with President Donald Trump. And then Greene says after what Trump had said, new threats from people from her own party started to come in. She says assassination threats had been sent directly on her son. Greene says even things like opening her mail has been potentially deadly, and showed a video of what appears to be law enforcement with gloves opening an envelope in June 2024. Addressed to her, she says has a syringe inside.